Hi, welcome back. Sit down, let's have a chat. My name is Cadwin. Today we're gonna be talking about insert trumpet noises. Yeah. Anyway, today we're gonna be talking about High School Musical, not one, not two, three, baby. What? Yeah. Objectively, High School Musical 2 is the best, right? We can all agree on that. But here's a little secret. You can't tell anyone. Shh. Little secret. Shh. This stays in this safe space, alright? Growing up, I thought High School Musical 3 was the best. Oops. High School Musical 3 was the best in my opinion. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. But it was, alright? Yeah. We're gonna be talking about High School Musical 3. If you haven't watched it, I'm looking at you, one girl I know who hasn't watched it. Check yourself. Maybe watch it before you watch this video. Too late, you already clicked on this video. Now you gotta stay. Spoilers! High School Musical 3 spoilers. Basically, what happens is, Troy, he's the main character for all of the High School Musicals. They're all graduating. It's graduation year. It's senior year. Oh my god, it's time to graduate? What? And your boy Troy, he's sitting over here like, oh my god, we're graduating, and we have to spend this last year at the best we can. And so there's amazing fucking songs. My favorite is probably Can I Have This Dance? Can I Have This Dance with Troy and Gabriella? What? Okay, side note, when I was a kid, that song is what that was me. That was me with the love of my life. I was Troy, and whoever wanted to be my Gabriella was my Gabriella. But yeah, we danced in the rain, and yeah. Side note, Gabriella in the third movie? Girl. Side note, I'm you should know before we get into this that I'm a Sharpay apologist. Yeah, she really can't be that bad of a person, right? Like, sure, Sharpay did some bitchy things, but like, when petty gets petty, you gotta get petty back, So, I'm a Sharpay apologist. What was I saying before that? Can I Have This Dance was legendary, and yes, the reprise did make me cry. Yes, I did watch it recently. Yes, it did make me cry. Can I Have This Dance? Both ruined my life and made my life 10 times better. So, yeah, that's what happened. Sorry if you can hear my cats in the background. They are just going fucking ham. They're getting into it. Song of the day. We already did Song of the Week. Song of the Week was What Is Love from the Rio 2 soundtrack. That song hits. But Song of the Day, I actually have three song recs. It's called This Is Revenge from the Tokyo Revengers? The Tokyo Revengers soundtrack. Tokyo Revengers, This Is Revenge by Hiroki Susumi. That song goes out to a very important person in my life. You blue-eyed freak. That could apply to so many people I know. But you know who you are. The one who had the Tokyo Revengers face. That song goes out to you. And then the next song also reminds me of a very important person in my life. A very important girl. Hey, baby. Sway by Michael Bublé. Me and the love of my life danced to the song together. The actual love of my life. The woman who puts in the work and lets me fiend off her family. You're a real one, babe. So that song goes out to her. Both those songs go out to, two important people in my life. And this song goes out to me. You want to know why? Because I'm fucking great. And I have great taste in music. The Summoning by Sleep Token. Oh my god. Sleep Token? They're mine. They just are. Like, if you don't get it, you don't get it. They're kind of like metal, kind of not. That song's great. The Summoning by Sleep Token. That song's great. When he screams, he's trying to seduce me. He's that into me. What is with men and being so into me? Like, down, boy. Chill. Chill. I'm right here. Chill. It's uncuffing season. I'm uncuffed. Like, chill. High School Musical 3. Why did I want to talk about this? Well, again, it was my favorite High School Musical series growing up. And, you know, like, it was something about that show that I really just, you know, understood. I really got it, you know, growing up. There was something about how Troy, you know, we see him in the previous movies struggling with, you know, identity problems and everything, and figuring out where he is. And I guess little me really just understood that, you know, growing up, I would have a big problem with identity. And I think High School Musical 3 really does wrap it up really well. Of course, we can sit here and debate all fucking day whether or not it's good or not. You know, at the end of the day, it sat with me. And I think that's what all art is supposed to do. And yes, I'm calling High School Musical 3 a piece of art. A masterpiece. It was a cultural reset. What do you mean it wasn't? It was. It was. You're not allowed to disagree. If you disagree, get the fuck out. Go on and get out, all right? Like, it was a cultural reset. And it really taught me, you know, as a young kid, like, you don't have to have it all figured out. And have I absorbed this lesson yet? No. And I feel bad for Troy because I really related to that, you know? Growing up, you got to figure it out all by yourself. So let's get into the plot, and then I'll give you, you know, some notes, like, about what sat with me the hardest, right? So we start off with Troy, and it's the very end of senior year, right? And he has a lot to look forward to. He just, you know, completed the final game of the season. So his basketball career is wrapping up, and now he has to figure out, like, if basketball is just a hobby or if it's like a serious passion. And, you know, growing up his entire life, he was told it was his serious passion. So he never really got to think outside the box when it comes to that. And that'll come in later. But, you know, he's surrounded by people who expect him to continue what he's good at, even after high school, because it's what he's good at. He's never tried anything else until theater, you know? But again, that's not like a viable option because he just started it, you know? How can it be your passion if you just started it? So that's where we start off. He finishes the end of the season game. Basically, everyone's excited. Everyone's, you know, planning out like the rest of their lives, but there's like a stressful undertone, and you can feel that through all the high schoolers. And so Gabriella has this genius fucking plan to sign everyone up for the school play because it's High School Musical, and of course they're signing up for a play. It's High School Musical, of course they're signing up for a play. Duh. So much to Sharpay's dismay, everyone signs up, right? And now everyone's focused on, oh my god, it's the play. Little does Troy Bolton know, little Miss Gabriella is trying to get into Stanford, and she does. And this is kind of, you know, like an earthquaker, a little earthquaking shaker to Mr. Troy Bolton, because the love of his life, his high school sweetheart, oh my god, she's leaving. What? So yeah, the biggest conflict of the movie is that fucking light feet Gabriella decides to leave again, you know, and this time I respect her decision. You know, it's academic and it's something she really does have to handle by herself, and it's something she really does have to prioritize. And I honestly do really respect her storyline in this last movie, because, you know, in the first couple ones it just felt so, girl, why you leaving? Light feet Gabriella over here fucking making decisions out her ass cheeks. All right, one flick of the hair and she knows everyone will fall for her. Sorry, I love you, Vanessa Hudgens. I don't, but I love you, Gabriella, but like, no, actually, no, I don't. Anyway, what was I saying? Right. in this storyline, she actually wants to leave, because she gets into the freshman honors program for Stanford. And, it's something she really does have to prioritize. And after a talk with her best friend, Tracy, Tina, Tammy, Tanya, what the fuck is her best friend's name? Taylor sits down and has to talk with her. And, she's like, well, he is your high school sweetheart. You're gonna have to move on. And you know what? That sucks to hear. It's a very debatable topic on whether or not that was a good friend move. But, in my opinion, she ate, Sometimes you have to hear the hard things. And it's not fun. But she really was trying to look out for her future. Because you can't throw your entire future away for some fucking boy. We get that. But sometimes you really do want to live in that little fantasy world. And, you can throw away your future for some boy. Because it's not throwing away if you're chasing after your happiness. Don't let me stop you. Even if that's living in the fucking mountains out of a tent. If that's what you want to do it, Don't let capitalism and the government tell you what to do. But yeah, Taylor talks her out of staying, And I really feel the pressure Gabriella feels in that moment, She did a really good job acting this out, where it's like this... You can't stay, but you kind of just wish you could pause time. I think the movie does a great job of melding it together, where it's like you don't have to forget what being a child was to keep moving forward. And I think that's wonderful. So she's going through a lot. So she ends up moving away to Stanford, right? And Troy's having a really hard time processing this. He's having a really hard time gathering the fact that the love of his life, she's leaving. What? And that means it's kind of taking his passion towards acting too, because she was the one who pushed him into acting. How can he continue to act if the person who was pushing him into it is gone? What we find out later on, through his little breakdown in the school. I don't have a crush on that. What? I'm just saying, if Bang-chan, if Christopher motherfucking Bang did that, pause, rewind. Okay, back to the topic at hand. So, Troy's heartbroken over the fact that Gabriella's moving away, and it's not because he's heartbroken about it. He wants to make it work, but Miss Gabriella's Gabriella's still on the fact that she can't live out this childhood nostalgia, this childhood, childish life she's living, and mesh it well with her now adult life. She doesn't know how to balance the two, so she gives up one for the other. That being, she gives up her childlike life to live her adult life. And, that throws Troy for a loop, because his entire life he's been protected in this bubble where other people make his decisions for him, and he can stay in this childlike state. He's very immature, and we see that. And every time, in the past, especially through High School Musical 2, every time he's chased after his future, thinking that's what he wanted, people have shunned him. People have turned him down. When he was trying to take the scholarship from Sharpay for the Red Hawks, the entire cast was angry at him, thinking it was some kind of betrayal. But in reality, if we look at it through this, lens of realism, you can see that, he was just looking out for himself. He was trying to get his life in order, and that was shunned on in the last movie. So in this movie, when he's finally resumed to a similar character as the first movie, everyone's finally on his side again. So he's struggling here. He's really going through it, and he finds out, just because Gabriella's gone doesn't mean that he has to give up on the acting and the music and the passion he truly feels when it comes to the theater. And that's where he ends up at the end of his singing choreo in the school. Is he ends up there on the stage, and he gets a pep talk from Miss Darby, Miss Hot Stuff. He gets a talk from Miss Hot Stuff, and she confronts him hey, you seem pretty comfortable up there. And that's the hard part of life, is finding what you're comfortable with, finding something that's uncomfortably comfortable, a place where you can bring out your passion, even if it's in the most vulnerable ways. And he has to ponder upon this throughout the entire rest of the movie. And so when he finally settles his mind and goes and visits Gabriella, you really see that he's unwilling to let go of this youthfulness, right? He's unwilling to let go of this impulsivity you get with youth. And he wants to keep growing up, and he wants to have this adult relationship, but with the same values he had as a kid. And that's incredibly important for his character arc, because it helps Gabriella realize that she doesn't have to punish herself with the adult life. Adult life doesn't have to be professional and business-like, as much as society loves to tell you that. And this movie really highlights the journey of becoming a young adult by keeping, the teenage part of yourself, keeping who you've already found, and finding a new identity within that, And it's so incredibly, it's so well written. And so Gabriella, he visits Gabriella after she breaks up with him and says, "I can't come back, pretty boy, blah, 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 blah." And he goes and visits her, and obviously she comes back for, like, the final prom night. And, they all graduate together, and it's, perfectly good. And obviously there's other aspects to this movie, but this is the part that I want to highlight. And it's, like, a big part of this movie that resonated with me was I have struggled my entire life with, like, academic inadequacy. I've struggled with the feeling of not being able to get my shit together, because everyone growing up, everyone's, like, telling you to get your life together, that your entire life has to be written down on some resume or application for college, for school, for work. That all of your life has to be able to be summed up on a couple of pages, and it has to have the hardest and best parts highlighted in the summary. And it's so hard, because how do you keep a youthfulness when your life is so systematically set up for you? And so with this movie, it's just so important to me. I really related to the fact that, like, you kind of lose yourself when you find yourself. Before you can truly find yourself, you got to lose yourself, and you got to lose the parts of you that feel the most stable for you to gain more stability. I feel like Socrates would have me at his table, and he would just keep pushing wine in my direction until I shut up, Shh, shut the fuck up. That's Socrates. Dionysus, he's literally, like, guzzling wine right now. He's chug, 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 chug. And they're like, "Please, Cadwin, shut the fuck up." But I guess I'm not in a silly, goofy mood today. And you know what? It's my channel. So, oh well. Yeah, I really relate to this movie. And growing up, there was always this big pressure to, like, find who you were before you went to college, or find who you were now. Really relate to Troy, because his girlfriend is going to fucking Stanford. She's a genius. His best friend's, I was about to say his boyfriend's girlfriend, Taylor, is about to go to, Yale? Like, Chad is about to go play professional basketball, and Troy's sitting here like, I don't know what to do with my life, and there's so much pressure in that, because if you apply that to real life, sometimes you feel like people around you are accomplishing so much more than you, and that you have to be this great person on the edge of innovation, as Brittany Broski said. And quoting her again, you don't have to go out there and create something new for your life to be valuable, because at the end of the day, you assign your own value. That's what growing up is realizing your own value, finding worth in the worthless. That's what beauty is finding something to stare at amidst all the ugly, finding something you like against all of the horrid. And with identity, especially academic identity, it gets terrifying, because all you want is that validation from the school. All you want is that validation from your friend group, from the good grades and what colleges can get you. And that's all you want, is to be able to have somebody tell you what to do, have somebody guide you to what you want to do. And even if you, like, want that, at the end of the day, you don't. A part of you wants to be able to decide what you want to become, who you are. And it's just this very, like, conflicting feeling where, like, one part of you wants someone to just label you and send you on your way, but another part of you wants to, you know, find the beauty in exploration. And Troy really goes through that. He really does. I'm sorry. I'm digging so deep into a High School Musical movie, but, you know, it was a cultural reset. And honestly, the beauty of the film is that, like, you feel so inferior sometimes when you can't have your life together. And throughout the entire series, you have Troy who's sitting here like, I think I have my life together, I don't have my life together. I think I have my life together, I don't have my life together. Everyone's telling me this is right, but it doesn't feel right. And then when I do what is right by me, everyone's also telling me that it's not right. And I finally want to do something that I know is good, but because I keep listening to what everyone else tells me, I'm not sure what the right path for me is. And so when at the end of the movie, when he chooses to follow both hobbies and just see where life takes him, to follow his girl, you know, but not too far, he can still, you know, come home. When he chooses to follow all three of his passions, per se, and it's a very valuable lesson, all right? It's very important. And I really relate to that because it's hard. It is so hard to sit here and to be an adult when you're not ready to be an adult. And it's so hard to, especially nowadays, have a childhood when all of your life hasn't been childlike. You never got the chance to be childish. Now that you're a teenager, you want the chance. You want to go off and you want to be seen for this person who lives an exciting life, even if you don't want to do the things you're doing. You don't want to participate in these things, but it gives you the image and the feeling that you're doing something, you know, interesting, worthwhile through stories. I just spit. Sorry. Did I spit on you, baby? Sorry. I'll control my salivary glands next time. Sorry, baby. Sorry, Pookie Bear. I'll chill. I should not be allowed to have a YouTube channel, but it's an important lesson, and it's so hard because we're constantly told to create and to innovate. And with the access of technology, you see all these people creating great things, and you wonder if, you know, your boring life is ever going to amount to something like that. If you're ever going to be the next Albert Einstein. And we can all sit here and claim that we don't think about it, but we all do. We all get jealous of the 13-year-old who can play guitar riffs like it's nothing. We all get jealous of the 12-year-old who discovered how to clone somebody. You know, it's like we're living with a bunch of Rick Sanchez's and we're all Mortys, right? Yes, I did just pull a Rick and Morty reference. Am I proud? No. Am I proud that I even watched that show? No. But I do. And I'd said it and I'm sticking by it, all right? Sometimes we feel useless, like Mortys. But, like, the show wouldn't be the show without the Rick and Morty, you know? You can't have a society full of super geniuses. And you can't have confidence all the time. Confidence is such a bullshit idea, all right? And it's so, like, oh, she's so confident she has no doubts, or she's so confident she has doubts, but she just stuffs them deep down. No. Confidence is having doubts. Confidence is having doubts very vulnerably. Confidence is putting yourself out there. Confidence is, especially when it comes to, like, academics and stuff, it's giving yourself a chance. Because, again, at the end of the day, you'll just have a good party story. If it doesn't all work out, you know, you'll have a good party story. I hate to use this, but, like, do it for the plot. In healthy ways. Do it in healthy ways. I do not like the enabling of our generation, but I will enable people to, you know, achieve something greater than they thought they could. And that's what High School Musical 3 is about. You know, Troy's sitting here amongst fucking geniuses and talented and skilled people, and he's sitting here and he's like, sure, I may be the captain of, like, a really highly rated school. Captain of the basketball team. I may be the most popular guy in school. I may, you know, basically be the leader of the drama club, but I don't feel like there's always that inability to feel like you belong. Because at the end of the day, the only person you belong with is yourself. You weren't, you know, pushed out of a pussy with like a hand to hold for the rest of your life. You know, eventually you gotta stop holding on to whoever, your parent or your sibling or whatever's hand, and you gotta find yourself. And not to be individualistic, because America has already taught me to be, but there is that point in life where you look around at this community you've built in this friend group and you wonder, you know, what's my spot in it? I have hobbies, but I don't know if these are my passions. I have things I like to do, but would I really want to pursue them? And it's, you know, it's scary. It's so fucking scary. And you try and sit down and you try and talk to people about it, but they're all going through the same thing. And it doesn't make you feel any better when the smartest person you know is also struggling to find where they fit in. Like, it doesn't make you feel any better. It doesn't make you feel any more secure. It just makes you feel worse because you think, oh, well, if the smartest person I know, the smartest person my age doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, are we all screwed? And I'm here to say no. High School Musical 3 is here to say no. You're not. Baby, pick yourself up by your bra straps. If you don't have a bra, buy one. If you don't need a bra, buy one. Wink. Pick yourself up from your fucking thong, all right? Hike it up. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, fuck it. If you go to college, you go to college. And you know what? Figure it out while you're there. You don't have to waste it. Like, there's no such thing as wasting your life. You don't have to do one thing for the rest of your life. And I know that's like, yeah, but I kind of do because I don't want to waste money on college. Yes, and I understand that's a very real thing. I don't want to sound like a spoiled brat. I understand money, and that is a really difficult position to be in. I'm going through that currently. But, you know, this is kind of a message to myself, and it's like, you can't just say, c'est la vie to life, and then, you know, not live it. You can't look at life in the eyes, look at the life you want to live or the path you want to take, and then just not choose it. And you can't look at all of the paths you could potentially take and not choose any of them. So, like, why don't you just embrace the options? And I think Troy really does that. And I don't think you can go to college, you know, and spend the entire time you're there figuring out your major. And I don't think you can, like, live your entire life aimlessly. But at the same time, you know, you can try one thing, stick to it for a little bit, and try another thing. And that's what Troy did with basketball and then with, you know, theater. He tried one thing and then he tried another. And he still kept basketball in his heart, but he moved on. And it in a very healthy way, too. And I think, you know, that's sometimes what you got to do. Just, you know, give yourself a chance to figure it out and stop stressing on about, like, all these people who are going to Stanford, Yale, whatever. Because, like, if you're not that girl, you're not that girl. If you don't get it, then maybe you're just not that girl. It's okay to not be that girl. It's okay to want to embrace different things and want to try different things and be different. And it's something you kind of really got to beat into yourself. But the key part of confidence is that, like, hey, this may be really embarrassing right now. It might be really embarrassing in the future, but at least I fucking tried. You live one life, and you can live it in fear, or you can live it, you know, trying things. And if you don't try things, I mean, at the end of the day, who are you living for? Because it's not yourself. Living for yourself and living for the people you love is you being your happiest. And I hope the people you love want to see you at your happiest. And, you know, I hope you love yourself too. You gotta learn to love yourself and love all the choices you gotta make. And it's hard and it's tiring, but it's something we all gotta do. And, you know, I don't think there's not much else I can say after that. Sorry, this wasn't a very funny video, but I don't know. I've been going through this stage where I've been fighting myself back and forth, and that's kind of why I wanted to do this video, is because you want to find yourself. You want to find your position in the world, and you want to stop feeling like you're a burden, or not that you're a burden, but just like a brick out of place in a house or something. You want to stop feeling like the brick that's being useless, that's not holding anything up. You want to participate in a community, in a society. You want to do your best. You want to make an impact. But I want to make great things. I want to do great things. But I'm just stuck in this position where all my old hobbies don't seem intriguing or interesting. And all the old things I used to like because everyone told me to like them don't feel like things I like anymore. And I feel like, I still want to carry them with me. I want to carry that childhood I had with me. But I think I'm ready for my next new passion. And, it's hard because there's a lot of factors that go into it. And all of it, has to fit your own situation. But, sometimes the best way to live your life is to get out of your situation and find a new path for yourself. And I think that I right now, like Troy, am ready to find my new path and go to the college that wasn't expected from anybody. Go to the passion that I've never had before, but I'm willing to try. And I'm willing to push past the embarrassment that I may have to at least say that I tried. Because, hey, if I do something completely opposite in the future, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but a master of one, Like, okay, the best way I can put this, and this is how I'll end it, is, let's say you have a dad, all right? Assuming not everyone has a dad, but let's say you have a dad, right? And he cooks, he cleans, he builds stuff, he helps you with your car, he helps you financially, and he's there for you emotionally. Is he a mechanic? No. Is he a maid? No. Is he a professional chef? No. Is he a therapist? No. But he's good at all of them, and it's the life skills he learned along the way that helped him to get there. Am I saying you have to be a dad now? Yes. Everyone who watches this video is now a daddy. You now have a child. Not my child, but you are now with child. The sauce, you are now preggo. You are having a marinara baby. You get what I mean. You get the picture I'm trying to draw. Life skills are important, and sometimes you gotta waste a little bit of life to learn that life skill. At the end, life isn't painful. It's quite beautiful. Experience it. Teenage motivational bullshit. Blah, 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 blah. High School Musical 3 is great. And yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna end it for today's ep. I was feeling a little more serious. A little less goofy-gaffy. But a little more on the serious. So I hope you enjoyed, though. I hope, you're not alone. We're all struggling here. And I think it's important that we all recognize that. Especially because a lot of the people who are watching this, I know that we're all struggling right now. But keep your head up. I'm in your corner. Even if I'm not there all the time, I'm in your corner. And, yeah. I hope you watch this video and you know that. So yeah, there's my motivational speaker of the day. Let's give him a round of applause. I'm sorry, did you ever do that in kindergarten? Round of applause. They were on some shit with that. That was cunty as hell. What do you mean? If a drag queen doesn't do that, is she really a drag queen? Anyway, I hope you had fun. I did. Trust yourself. Don't do illegal things. And if you do them, don't do 2 stupid things at once. 1 stupid thing at a time. If you're gonna get drunk, don't drive. Shit like that. Be gay. We don't accept straight people here. And, yeah. That's it. Bye.